We're looking at problem 3 on worksheet 8A. It says 3.42 moles of acetic acid react with 4.22 moles of sodium hydroxide to form water and sodium acetate. How many grams of each product are made? So if we're looking at this, we first need to write our balanced equation, which tells us acetic acid gives us the formula for this. Reacts with sodium hydroxide to form water and acetate, which is on your polyatomic list. Now this problem is slightly different. We're beginning with moles instead of grams, which actually makes your work a little easier because you're going to set up conversions that go from moles to grams because we want to know how many grams of each product. So I want to know grams of water. I also want to know grams of sodium acetate. Now, we can start this problem either way. We can look at both of reactants going to water or both of reactants going to acetate. Because remember, the first step is who's our limiting reactant to determine how much product we make. So we're going to start with water. So I'm going to take my 3.42 moles of acetic acid. And I'm going to put that over 1. And since I already am in moles, I can go straight into my mole ratio, which is moles of acetic acid to moles of water. And I didn't go over the balancing of the equation because this is an already balanced equation here. So it's a 1-to-1. Okay. And then lastly, we'll go into grams of H2O. Okay, and I get that 18 from the periodic table, and to be more precise, 18.02. Okay, if I multiply all of that and divide, I'll get 61.6 grams of H2O. Now we need to do our other reactant, so 4.22 moles of sodium hydroxide over 1. Once again, we're starting with moles, so I can go straight into my mole ratio, moles of sodium hydroxide to moles of water. Once again, since it's already balanced, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. And then I'll go into my grams of water. If I do that math, I'll get that I produce 76 grams of water. Therefore, if I'm looking at these two, this is my lower amount, so this is how much is going to get produced, telling me that acetic acid is my limiting reactant. So now I know I'm going to produce 61.6 grams of this, but how much sodium acetate am I going to produce? So I take my limiting reactant, which is my acetate, or acetic acid. So 3.42 moles of acetic acid over 1. Once again, since we have moles, we're going to go straight into our mole ratio. So moles of acetic acid to moles of sodium acetate. So 1-to-1 ratio. And then we'll go into grams of sodium acetate. And I'll get that gram number from the periodic table, which is 82.05. If I do that math, I will get 281 grams of sodium acetate. And those two are my answers.